Alright, so what's up guys? I've been wanting to do this video for a hot minute, and I don't think it really needs any introduction. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you know what Vulnhub is, I'm assuming that you know what Kali Linux is, I'm assuming that you know about VirtualBox, and I know, it kinda makes me sound like an asshole with a whole lot of assumptions, but as we go along here, the most important key concept is that I'm not going to assume that you know anything about the tools used in solving these problems. So I've seen videos where people are solving the Necromancer, or their write-ups rather, and it's fantastic because it's proof of concept to a degree, but it's not proof of concept to such a degree that anybody who's not familiar with the tools or the OS or the process is going to know what's going on. It's kind of like, okay, so then I used Nmap, or then I used binwalk, or then I used this, and you don't actually get to see like the parameters or the arguments that are passed into these command line tools, and it's not explained, I mean, hardly at all. So while the proof of concept and seeing somebody like get in or get the next flag or decrypt whatever it is that needs to be done, base 64, etc., it's really cool, but I haven't yet come across a video that's kind of for the guy who's just getting into this, the guy who's just starting out. And that's what I want to do, is make a video that explains not just getting through the Necromancer, but shows the tools and then explains like the parameters used and why you can do it just this way, and then hopefully in explaining that, you, if you attempt it yourself, will discover other ways based off of what you've learned from watching other people's videos or are experiencing other people's work through their write-ups. So long story short, the whole point is learn. It doesn't matter if you don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter if you're on Kali all the time or you're a pen tester. I mean, any of that. Check it out. Let me know what you think. We're going to get started with how to get VirtualBox up and running on 2018 Kali Live, because that, for me, for some weird reason, was a pain in the butt. So first things first, we need to apt-get install build essential DKMS, and this is not a problem, as I already have it installed, so it's gonna tell me such. Excuse me, I've got my garbage pulled up here. We'll open a fresh terminal. Be professional about it. Okay. So, bam, it's going to tell me I have the newest version, 2.3-3. That's fantastic. We're going to do the same thing with VirtualBox, and please, for the love, make sure that you issue these commands in said order. Do build essential DKMS, and then do VirtualBox, not the other way around. I wish I could explain it better, but just trust me. It's going to tell me I have the newest version, 5.2.8. That's fantastic. So after that's done, you want to obtain your .ova file, which is the, I don't know, the package essentially that you're going to open with VirtualBox to get the Necromancer obstacle course, as it were, up and running. So you can use Mirror Torrent. I usually use Torrent, and if you do use Torrent and you're on Linux, check out qBittorrent. It's pretty lightweight, clean user interface. I've been pleased with it myself. Anywho though, after you've downloaded that OVA file, just double click it. Check it out. It's going to do all the work for you. Names the box, tells you the OS type, gives you one processing core to run on, 512 megabytes of RAM. This is all sufficient for this box because there's no GUI thus far. It's all been command line from what I've seen. USB controller, uncheck that guy. Gives me nothing but problems. Go ahead and do import. And then there's one other key thing you have to do before you even start down hunting the Necromancer, and that's go into your settings, go to your network, and for the love, please put it on bridged. If you don't put it on bridged, then you can't talk to the Necromancer box that's about to boot, and Necromancer can't talk out to the rest of your network. So, as long as the USB controller is disabled, because that causes mad issues, and you've bridged your network, after you've imported that OVA file we've downloaded, as it sits here right now in front of us, it is ready to go. So here we will boot it up. Let me drag it over because my screens are nonsense. Started network. Now I don't know if you're supposed to use this, but I always have. Do you see how it signs the IP address right there? Bound to 192.168.1.7. That, to me, that's kind of a, I guess maybe that's why this one's listed as beginner. It gives you its IP address right off the bat. Usually you got to dig around a little bit. And for anybody who's familiar with pen testing and so on and so forth, you're probably thinking right now, okay, oh my goodness, use Nmap. Scan that IP address with Nmap, and that's going to solve all our problems. And you're not completely wrong. Nmap is a great idea. And what we can do is we can check out Nmap as we go along here. Notice though, this is one of the commands that I wish to explain, because you can run Nmap scans all damn day and you're not going to find anything unless you specify via this TAC-SU parameter to scan UDP. You have to. And you can do all the ports if you want. I've obviously experienced this already and don't really want to waste anybody's time with a 65,000 port scan when I can just do 1 through 1,000 as a proof of concept. So this is the IP address of the Necrobox. We're saying through port 1 through 1,000, UDP only. And this TAC-VV here is for double verbose output, because if you if you don't get verbose output, you're sitting here waiting while Nmap runs, and it doesn't really say anything all too informative, and you've almost wondered, is it doing anything? Did I type it wrong? So away we go. Let's see what's good. Look at that. Discovered open port 666-UDP. Now, open Doom 666 UDP. What do you think the next step is going to be? Do you think we can connect to it with Netcat? Do you think we can listen on that port and see if there's anything being fed to and from? Well, let's find out. I'm gonna stop this right here for this video, because it's been where you get your OVA file, how to get VirtualBox up and running on a live instance of Kali, anything that's 2018, and then the first step on the path towards hunting the Necromancer. So we'll pick up from here on the next video. Thanks.